Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all good. I hope you are enjoying the autumn series so far, and thank you so much for all of your amazing comments. Now we are continuing with the inlays that we made a few videos back, and we're going leaves. So I grabbed all of the leaf inlays that we've made here. A few of you have asked to see the mushrooms. I think I'm going to save those for Halloween because they also work for Halloween too. We're going to use some open bezels. As I was packing up my craft room, I was like, I've got 4 left. Just 4. I'm going to need to place a huge order when I move. Now, the resin tape, honestly, you guys, saved my life when you gave me this advice. When you're using resin tape, just folding over those edges is a game changer. It makes working with the open bezels so much easier to control, because I used to accidentally get my hand stuck to the tape every single time, and it was such a nightmare. But just folding over the edges, oh, what a difference. Like, what a difference. I've laid my open bezels down and they stick pretty well, if I'm honest. It was at this point, as I was, pushing them down to make sure that they were firmly adhered, that I noticed inside bezel number 1 there was a little bit of debris, and I could not get it up at all, and I'd already marked the tape at this point. Now I decided to just go with 3 because marking the tape means that those marks are going to be left in your resin, and I didn't want that. And 3 is a good number, isn't it? 3 is a really good number. We're going to be working with 3. I've already put my resin through my resin bubble remover machine by Let's Resin. I didn't need much resin for this project, so I just quickly ran it through that to clear it as much as possible. Now, if you are in a hurry, you can use UV resin on this project. I would say that UV resin is probably the easiest, fastest way to do this project, but yeah, I had time, so we were going with epoxy. I'm just using a cocktail stick to make sure that that resin has made its way around all of the edges of these open bezels, and I'm using my long neck lighter to get rid of any extra bubbles. Now, if you ever see me pointing to the top right hand side of the screen, it's because I do leave cards. They're called cards, and they pop up every now and again on the screen with video suggestion ideas. So I often point to the screen. If you want to watch the video of how I made the inlays, you will find it up there, and I'll also put it at the end of the video and it will appear on screen at the end. Now, I did have to take some resin out of that central one because I'd put too much in to allow the leaf to sit happily. It was kind of like pushing the resin really out, and I realized I'd put too much in. As for this leaf, it was too big. A lot of my videos they're just trial and error, and I don't pretend it all went wonderfully smoothly, because what's the point? Like, I'd have no videos, guys, if I waited until I did everything right. There would be no Claire's Crafty Corner. So I took that leaf out. I just felt like I wasn't feeling it. I think I was feeling these leaves more than the other leaves. Even though this inlay is also a bit too big for the bezel, I still went with it. So all of the resin you see me scraping off from the side came out of that central open bezel when I really needed to get some resin out quickly. So here they are, 3 different sized leaves, all placed in the open bezels. And this is about 8 hours later. Now it's time to peel these out. I cannot tell you the love I have for silicone inlays. They're just so satisfying. Now the middle one, because I'd over poured, I do have spillage. Now that will take some cleaning up, but it does come off really nicely. You just have to use a crafting blade to get it off, and all is good with the world. Now, open bezel number 1, we are going with copper mica. Open bezel number 2, we are going with a green. I already know I'm going to love this. Like, I already know this is probably going to be my favourite because I'm so in love with this green chameleon powder. It's unreal. Now, bezel number 3 is going with that gold powder. Do you remember me showing you that gold powder that gets everywhere and is really hard to get off unless you use isopropyl alcohol? that is what I'm using. Now for the backgrounds of these, I am using some black polyurethane, but you can use black UV resin, you can use ready-made black resin. I know Let's Resin sells that. You can also use your epoxy resin with some black pigment, but I would recommend going with black. Whatever it is you decide to use, make it black. The reason black is recommended is because it really does make your chameleon powders and your mica powders pop more than any other colour. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't do a very neat job here at all. I'm really not very good at the back coat. You can just see it's the middle one is even like falling off, like spouting out of the edges. I'm not feeling this resin tape, guys. I can't remember. I don't know if this was the J Diction one that was sent to me. I'm pretty sure, like I'm 90% sure it was the J Diction. I'm just getting so much residue lately. Whether I use UV resin or whether I use epoxy resin, it's always leaving some of the tape still on the resin, and I never got that with the tape I was using before. So I think I'm just gonna stop using it and swap it for the one I was using before. It's really not much of a big deal because it does come off like a dream. I'm using my 99% isopropyl alcohol and it just cleans it up a dream. And these were a wow. Like, I loved these so much. I mean, each and every colour has its own unique beauty. The gold, I would say, because the leaf is the smallest leaf, it just stands out so much and it looks like the leaf is just laying on a soft quilted bed. And then the one on the left, unbelievable. That was the copper mica powder from Resin Pro. But the green, oh, the green filled my heart with happiness. Look at this beauty. You saw me there. I just used my craft blade to scrape off the resin and it did a great job. It did a really great job. This is what they are all looking like together. And I'll be honest, I was tempted to leave them like this, like leave them as is, because I'm not that good at top coating. There's not really much of an edge to stop my UV resin from going over. So yeah, I was a bit nervous. I showed the photo to my patrons, and I think all of my patrons are always so supportive. A couple of them said definitely top coat them, it will make everything pop. So I did decide to go ahead and top coat. I was trying so hard here, guys. You know me, I don't usually. I was trying so hard to get this UV resin just to kiss, like literally kiss the edge of that silver bezel before I whacked it under a UV light to cure it. And I did one at a time, and look, you can see I haven't even got to the edge, and yet I was really trying. But how beautiful is this green? I know me, and I know I would 100% wear this on a chain around my neck. Anything like this is right up my street. Or, as I now know, you guys in America, I don't know, Canada, let me know, Australia, let me know. You say right up my alley. Right up my alley. Do you say right up my alley in Australia, or do you say right up my street? Let me know in the comments section down below. Sorry if I've butchered your accents. I do love me an accent. So this is what we're looking like. Really simple. A nice, simple, easy autumnal video. It's not a very long video, but that's okay. It's just a nice little idea. If you've got the tools and you've got the inlays, remember you can do this with UV resin and polyurethane, which makes this a project you could do within 20 minutes from start to finish, done and dusted. A 15 to 20 minute project. If you're looking for a quick, fast gift to give someone, this is the one, because you can get so many made in the space of literally 20 minutes. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.